Hey guys, so today we are going to be talking all about motivation and how you can find more motivation for yourself to learn Spanish. So the first thing that I want you to really think about is, why are you learning Spanish? So I know this might seem like kind of a simple question, but there's really a lot to it. So think about, for me, I'm learning Spanish because I enjoy learning other languages, and because my ancestry is Spanish, so I have a personal connection to it, and because where I live in Southern California, in Riverside County more specifically, there are a lot of Spanish-speaking people, so it is the most useful language that I could learn in this area. So that is why I am learning Spanish. And as far as my motivation for doing it, how do I keep myself going on a day-to-day basis? Because I know this is where a lot of people struggle. So many people want to learn another language, and I mean, if you ask anyone, would you like to be bilingual or would you like to speak multiple languages? Most people would say yes, yes, I would like to do that. But you don't realize how much work it is until you really get into it. And that's where the motivation comes in. You have to choose something that you really have a strong desire to learn and to stick with. And you have to figure out a way to keep yourself going. So along these lines, when I am learning the language, and I speak Spanish, of course, you guys know I speak Spanish and I teach Spanish, but I am also learning Spanish because I believe that there is always more to learn. And if you've seen my website, then you know that I am a student as well as a teacher of Spanish and really of everything that I teach. Even if I am credentialed and already have a degree in it, I still consider myself a student in that subject because there's just an unlimited amount of knowledge out there about anything. So with that being said, I am also a student of Spanish right now. I'm working on my second bachelor's degree, and this one is in Spanish, online through Oregon State University, and I also work full-time as a math teacher in high school right now. Although I am teaching online currently because of our stay-at-home order, I have quite a few things to manage, as well as my YouTube videos and scheduling and all of that. So trust me when I tell you that motivation is so important to keep going, and to have that motivation, really the biggest key concepts to motivation are finding something that you are interested in doing, that you have a desire to do. And then you need to be organized, have a schedule for what you're doing, and when you feel overwhelmed, it's a good idea to just kind of make a list of everything that you have to do and get it out there so you can see it and check it off, and at least that's what I do. And make sure you have some way to hold yourself accountable. So you really need to know what kind of a learner you are. So along with this, you want to make sure that the goals that you set for yourself are reasonable and attainable within the amount of time that you have. So this is going to be different for everyone, and you really just have to know your abilities and how quickly you can work and what you were capable of doing. And everyone is capable of learning another language, but for some people it's going to take longer, for some people it's going to be more work. Some people are going to struggle more with speaking, some with reading, some with writing, some with everything. It is going to vary from person to person. I think that I tend to have to work a little bit harder than most people to learn things, and I know people, they usually say like, oh, you're a teacher, oh, you're so good at that, it must come so easily to you. No, I spend a lot of time studying and reading things multiple times and reviewing, and I spend so much time studying, making sure that I get all of the information. So you really just need to figure out what you need to be successful, and when you can get yourself to that point, so this is where the motivation really comes in, when you can get yourself to that point to understand what it is that you need, how you learn, and how you can organize yourself, and how you can set your goals, and you can get some momentum going in your learning and start making progress and seeing success, you will also have more motivation. So you do need to have that motivation to get started. But once you start moving and seeing that success, you will most likely find that you have more motivation, hopefully, because it feels good when you accomplish something. And that can be motivation in and of itself. So I tend to prefer to motivate myself intrinsically. I don't really like to have external things. Like if you're rewarding yourself with, I don't know, with food or a trip to the spa or whatever it is, I tend to get my reward from learning out of accomplishment, and that's what makes me feel good, is to have it done. And then when I have a day that is not as productive, I don't feel as good about it. So today is an example of one of those days. So today I am at home, of course, and I am a little bit sick, and I really didn't want to get up and do much today. So I thought, you know what? I need some motivation. Let me make a video about motivation so I can really think about this concept and what it is, and I'm going to keep going. And I know a lot of people are struggling with this as well, especially right now, just being cooped up in your house for so long. I know people keep saying, oh, you have all this time. Great, but if you don't have the motivation to do anything with it, then it's just wasted time. So really push yourself, and that's what it comes down to the most, is you have to find that drive to push yourself. So find something that you are legitimately interested in doing. So if that is Spanish, then start by figuring out your plan. So for me, I do have the motivation to keep going. Like, I have this YouTube channel, you guys know, and I have a schedule, and that's what keeps me going here. That schedule, it's for you guys so that you know when I'm posting, but it's also for me to keep myself motivated so that I know every Monday, every Thursday, I have to have a video out. And then Saturdays I have as a bonus time when I am feeling extra creative and extra productive. I have that. I probably won't have one this coming up Saturday because it is Sunday night right now when I'm filming this, and I usually try to be about a week ahead. So for me, this is a little bit behind, even though this is still a few days before this one's going to come out. So I probably won't have a bonus video this Saturday, and we'll see over the next couple weeks. But that schedule is what keeps me going. And as far as learning Spanish, I've always found that I do like to learn on my own. I am a very independent learner, but I also like the structure of the class. So that's why I am taking Spanish classes, and not just because of the structure, but also because my goal is to get a PhD in Spanish, and I need to have that on my transcript that I have taken all of the coursework for a bachelor's degree in Spanish before I can get a PhD. So a lot of the stuff is review, but there are always things in there to learn, and most of it's reading, literature classes and culture classes, history classes, things like that. So the learning is limitless. Anyway, I find that that's what helps me. That's the kind of learner that I am, is that I like to be able to do it on my own, but I also like to have the structure of these classes. Now, my classes are entirely online. So I don't go to a lecture, I just have assignments given to me, and then I complete them online, and I submit them, and I get grade, and I get feedback, and I move on. So I like that style, and it keeps me motivated because I will work when I have a deadline. And if that deadline is something that, like a course where it's non-negotiable, I will get it done. So that motivates me to get more done. So if you're that kind of a learner, then taking a class is a great idea. Or meeting with someone regularly, even if it's just a study partner, maybe someone who's also learning the same language you're learning, or someone who speaks the language, or someone who speaks Spanish and is learning English. Meet with them regularly, but find some way to keep yourself accountable, because that is just so much of it. So important to keep yourself accountable. And when you set your goals out for yourself, make sure you are realistic about what it is that you can do. So I'm taking 3 classes right now, and it doesn't sound like a lot, 3 classes, but 3 classes on top of working full time and doing my YouTube videos on the side. and everything that goes along with that. I spend several hours recording every week and studying, and all of my time goes into Spanish and work right now. So really make sure that you don't overload yourself, because you'll lose motivation if you have so much that it's not achievable, and everyone has their limit. So you just need to know what yours is. For some people, if you're taking a class, it might be that you can just take one class. So last quarter, I only took one class because that was all I was comfortable doing at that time. Now I'm taking 3 because I'm at home and I have a little bit more time and I want to get through it, but that's my preference now, and that's what I'm comfortable keeping up with. So you really have to know yourself and what you can do. So the best way I think to figure this out is maybe write it down. So think about, okay, how much time do I have to designate to this, and how long does it take me to do these things, and figure out a plan for yourself. Even if that plan changes over time, that is fine. Just have a plan so you have some idea of what you can do, because when your expectations are realistic, you're more likely to accomplish them, and when you accomplish them, you're going to be more motivated because you've had some success in that. Alright, and I was going to talk more about organization in this video, but I feel like this video has already gotten pretty long. So I think I'm going to make an entire other video just about organization and some of the other skills that I mentioned in this video, and that will be coming to my channel soon. Alright, I will see you guys back here on Monday for my next video. Ciao!